Hello everyone, it's me Chris at Prom again. Going over a bit of old ground-ish really. Jazza was supposed to come, but he's away having a break with his family to explain. At the weekend we had a professional show up in Liverpool on DAZN with Jamie Conlon as the promoter and his brother Michael. They used our gloves on the show and we're quite impressed. Some of the top fighters wore all our stuff, and we'll show you a few stills today, and we got really good feedback on how much our gloves are an improvement on what they've been using before or what they'd used in the past. Now Jazza used our horsehair model, the Valero glove, which is this one. This is exactly the same as Jazza's, but he had a little bit of his logo printed on the thumb just to make him unique. Same colour because this is his favourite colour as well. Now this is the Valero horsehair model glove. Now as you can see, it's lovely shaped. It keeps its shape as well when you're boxing, not like a normal horsehair glove, because as I have said before, the way we make it is slightly different to keep its shape, so it can't be broken up and tampered with, so the knuckle comes through the actual padding. Plus we have extra padding to protect the metacarpals in the back of the hand as well. So it's a very compact but safe glove for a horsehair kind of glove. We will be showing you some stills, using the glove and eventually getting the knockout. And I can say with confidence, he did tell me afterwards that he was really impressed with the glove. Protection was brilliant. He doesn't have as much hand wrap as a lot of boxers do. He wraps his own hands and he does it his own way. So with the limited amount of padding old school like Jazza likes, to say that the gloves protected his hands well is a big bonus for me. And many of our competitors, they still use our old version of kind of glove, which is the horsehair, which is this one, and as you can see how soft that is, but it's basically just a bag of horsehair with a little bit of foam to make the shape, a thin layer of foam, more on the inside than the outside. A lot of our competitors, Paffin sports gloves are like this, because that's our old design that the same factory made for us that worked for Paffin years ago. It's the same glove we used, as I've showed you before, the old orange one that we sold to Matchroom 15 years ago. And I believe quite a few, obviously Everlast MXs or the MX2s are similar to this, and I think the fly ones, I'm not sure, I've never actually touched the fly ones, people can let me know. They're very soft and made this similar way, whereas ours have the horsehair mat impregnated in ours, so it cannot fall apart. Now also you'll have seen that some of the boxers, they use this glove, a more protective foam glove. Now it's still soft and you can still get a good sort of punch feel on it. I think Jack Power used this glove but in this colour, and he got a first round devastating knockout of a young chap called Gennady, who doesn't get knocked over like that normally. So one, it proves that Jack Power has power, and it proves that the glove will, even though it's the foam version and not the horsehair version, will produce knockouts and protect the hand as well. Also on the show wearing this glove was Liv Hussey and her opponent. She had the red and gold, Liv had the white and gold, and a young man making his debut called Ted Jackson, he wore this glove as well. Now he was impressive. I was ringside watching the fight as a guest. It makes a change from working the corners and everything as usual, so, but I was impressed with young Ted Jackson. I think he was a super middleweight and he looked really good. He looked more experienced and relaxed than anybody I've seen having a pro debut for a while, and he seemed to like the gloves as well. So that's what happened on the DAZN show. I mean, you can still get it on YouTube, you can, or on DAZN, bring it up from the Olympia in Liverpool at the weekend, 29th of June. You can still watch the reruns. There's some brilliant fights on there. Like I say, a lot of local fighters. And the only, obviously the top of the bill, they went with Grant gloves. Now, Grant gloves are a foam glove. Pro-Am Boxing, as a company, we were the UK and European distributors for Grant when they very first started, and for quite a few years. So we introduced that particular fight glove to the UK, and everyone seems to think it's the #1 glove now. I honestly don't think it is any better than what we do. It's very similar to this one, or because I've worked with Grant and I know what the glove's made like and how it's made. I think it's very similar to our foam glove. I've not pinched any ideas off it. It's a totally different makeup, but it is similar to that. It's a nice foam glove. It's got that nice soft feel to it, and you can still get knockouts with the foam glove. It doesn't have to be the good old-fashioned horsehair glove to get the big punches in. It's a boxer's preference, to be fair. Now, they're all obviously got the Boxing Board of Control logo on. They're all approved, you know, as they must be nowadays. I think the shape, the compactness, the comfortable, and the protection on our gloves, it compares with all major brands. I would say those who I've said before who use this kind of glove, this is old-fashioned, and it's, although some people do like them, I don't think it's anywhere near as good as our modern horsehair development. We've moved on, 21st century. These are still from the 1990s, 1980s style glove. Times move on. So I think this glove, our horsehair glove, is a better glove than our older horsehair glove, which, like I say, which is still used by a lot of our competitors. This one is similar to the Grant glove. I'm not going to tell you it's better than Grant gloves or anything like that, but I don't think it's any worse than the Grant glove. It's not like a lot of the foam-based gloves that have got approval from the Boxing Board of Control, where a lot of them are very thick, rubbery. They tend to, when you hit the target or the head, I've had a few people say that they feel like it bounces back off the target. So, although it may be protecting the hand, it's not offering the opponent protection, and it's not. How can we say? It's not comfortable to use. So all in all, there's a lot of companies now that have got Boxing Board of Control approval to use their gloves. A lot of them are just run-of-the-mill gloves. A lot of these newer companies, what they'll do, they'll buy something like this off us, or they'll buy an Everlast MX, or they'll buy a Fly glove or a Rival glove, and they just send it to Pakistan and go, copy that, put my logo on it. And the little factories in Pakistan copy it to the best they can, and then it gets passed by the board, which is a pretty basic test. It's not like the IBA or World Boxing Test, where you pay to send the gloves to a university where they're tested by scientists and everything else. Then you pay your licensing fee for the amateur boxing. This one's more, you send your gloves to the board, and I believe, now don't quote me 100% on this, but I believe they give it to one of the pro gyms and pro boxers and say, use the glove in training for a few weeks, let us know what you feel about it, whether it's good enough to be used in a pro contest. And that's the board's version, and then you pay your licensing fee to the board. Now, I'm hypercritical because I'm a trainer. I have been for a long time. We use the gloves, my boxers use the gloves, and some of the shows we take our fighters to that use certain gloves, they are cheap, bad copies of some of the gloves. I mean, I've even known some that have been copies of gloves that are banned for use, but obviously because they're not identical, they will pass the test. I think there's too many gloves at the minute to choose from. A lot of them are. We do get a lot of boxing fans now. I've nothing against the boxing fan setting up his own brand. No, none at all. But do those people know what it feels like to wear a glove or to be hit by a glove, or how durable a glove needs to be? I don't think so. Like I always bang on, there's not many boxing brand owners like me who have been in boxing all their life. I mean, I was a young kid doing amateur boxing as a junior, boxed at a high level as an amateur, as a senior as well, in many parts of the world. And it's like now, for the last 25 years, I've been a boxing board of control professional coach. Before that, when I retired from boxing myself, I was qualified as high as level 3 as an amateur boxing coach. So all that experience goes into development of our equipment. You name me another brand who's got that kind of experience, that uses them and knows what a glove needs to feel like when it's on a boxer's hand, whether it be for competition or for sparring or for it in the bag. All that knowledge goes into our equipment, and I challenge any other. There's very few, I can't think, the only other brand I can think of that has something to do with actual boxing is Rival. Russ Amber, he's a director for that company. It's not run the same as we run this, but he does have experience. He's a cut man, and I think he's been a trainer as well. And he bandages hands, and he knows how a glove should feel on a boxer's hand. The Rival Pro fight gloves are like quite similar to ours, where they have a more padded one and they have a horsehair one, and they're very well made. I like them. They're durable. They're a good glove. You never seem to get any faults with them. Nobody complains about them not being comfortable or having sore hands after using them. Apart from that, I don't know of any other major boxing brand, especially one like this one that's been going 30 years. There may be one or two shops that are owned by a former fighter, or a boxing coach has his little brand that he sells out to the gym, an amateur boxing coach that is, but I don't know of any others. Enlighten me if you know any others like that, or who has an experience like that. Even Everlast, they weren't boxing people, they just spoke to and talked to boxers and got them to wear their stuff, and boxers got them to make stuff for them. Let us know in the comments, do you know of another boxing brand that is run by a former boxer, coach, trainer, or anything like that? Now, we'd like to see our boxing gloves on more professional shows. If you're a professional boxer and you would like to use our glove, what you have to do is say to the promoter, two ways of doing this. You can say to the promoter you prefer the Pro-Am Valero horsehair or the FF foam fight glove, and you want to use it in your show. The promoter will then approach me for the gloves, and we'll come to a deal where they purchase the gloves off me. Or what you can do is you buy 3 pairs of gloves. You buy which model you prefer, and you have a pair for yourself, a pair for your opponent, and a spare pair. That's the rule from the board. You notify your promoter that you're going to do that. If he's okay with it, you get your 3 pairs of gloves, and you can wear them on the show. Unless you're a top of the bill fighter, where you can more or less dictate whatever you want. You can wear your gloves, or any kind of gloves, as long as they're approved, and the promoter ain't going to argue with a top of the bill fighter, is he? So that's how you get hold of these. If you want them just for trading in, you can get them off our website or from the shop. You know the website, www.proamboxing.co.uk. Let us know what you think of our fight glove. Any questions on it? Answer that question I've got. Is there another brand that I've got boxing experience like us? Please like, subscribe, press that thumbs up, ring that bell, do all that, pass us on to your friends so we get more followers. We need plenty of followers who like this programme. And good luck, and I'll see you next week.